Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and the iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max this year have an all-new design. We have some nice new colors as well, however we're missing the black color that many people expect every year, but either way there's some key differences to talk about to help you decide which would be best for you. So we'll go over 5 things to consider when buying a new iPhone 17 Pro versus an iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now the first thing is the price. The iPhone 17 Pro starts at $1,099, goes up to $1,499, and comes in $100 more than last year's model to start. The iPhone 17 Pro Max starts at $1,199 and goes up to $1,999. And the reason it's so expensive is we have an additional storage option. So both start at 256 gigs of storage. We have a 512 gigabyte option. We also have a 1 terabyte option, but on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, we can also get 2 terabytes of internal storage as well. So if you need that additional terabyte, you'll need to pick the 17 Pro Max. The next thing is the displays. The iPhone 17 Pro is still 6.3 inches, just like last year's 16 Pro, and the iPhone 17 Pro Max is also 6.9 inches, similar to last year's display. However, we have better displays this year. They go up to 3000 nits of brightness, and they also both have an option for PWM help. So basically what that means is display pulse smoothing, or PWM is the way it controls brightness by flickering the display faster or slower. So this is something that can bother a lot of people's eyes, including my own, and to fix this issue, Apple has given us this option that tries to smooth it. It doesn't turn it off entirely, but seems to fix the problem for most people. So those that are bothered by it would typically have headaches, maybe feel dizzy or nauseous, and also maybe just have eye strain in general, but this time around it seems to help a lot, and both displays have it. Of course, another obvious change is the overall size. Now both of them have the same thickness this year, but there's definitely a weight difference between both of them. So you can see not just the size vertically and horizontally, but the weight of them is significant, especially compared to one another and even last year. So the iPhone 17 Pro comes in at 7.27 ounces or 206 grams, where the iPhone 17 Pro Max comes in at 8.22 ounces or 233 grams. So the size is obviously one thing that you need to consider, but the nice thing is we've got quality displays and everything else on both. Now compared to the 16 Pro Max, it's very similar in size, but definitely a little bit heavier. It's more like the same of having a screen protector on the 16 Pro Max that's about the same weight as the 17 Pro Max by itself. So that gives you an idea, but the overall size is very similar and comparable. So you can't use the same case necessarily, but at least you have something that's not too much bigger if you wanted to choose the same size you had last year. Now with the new design in the iPhone 17 Pro this year, Apple has made additional room for larger batteries. With the iPhone 17 Pro, we have a 4,252 milliamp hour battery, and in the iPhone 17 Pro Max, we have a 5,088 milliamp hour battery. This is good for up to 33 hours in the 17 Pro of video playback compared to 27 hours in the 16 Pro. And in the 17 Pro Max, we have 39 hours of video playback compared to 33 in the 16 Pro Max. Now, depending on what test you watch, this can vary. Some people say you'll get about 30 minutes more battery life between the 17 Pro and 17 Pro Max, but then others have said 3 to 4 hours. So it really depends on how you're using your phone, what tests you're running. Maybe you're running intensive apps all day, or maybe you have a lot of car keys connected to cars using different features. It really just depends on how it's set up for you. However, in most things that I'm seeing online and in my own experience, I'm seeing between 2 to 3 hours increase between both devices, and also a couple hours increase between the 16 Pro series to the 17 Pro series. So it's definitely an increase year to year, but between devices I would expect 2 to 3 hours of screen on time difference. That's typically what we're seeing, about 7 to 8 in the 17 Pro, and about 10 to even up to 13 with the 17 Pro Max, depending on how you're using it. So a big jump there, and definitely a much larger battery that gets you additional screen on time depending on your use. Now with that, Apple's finally increased charging speed, 50% in 20 minutes with a 40 watt adapter. So if you're using maybe a USB-C plug with a 40 watt adapter or higher, you can get up to 50% in just 20 minutes instead of 30 last year. That's the same for both models this year. And also, we can now charge at the same rate as we could last year wired, but this time wireless, in 30 minutes up to 50% with Qi 2 wireless chargers. And to take advantage of the faster charger and larger batteries, today's sponsor Ugreen can take advantage of the Qi 2 25 watt charging and extend battery life with the Ugreen MagFlow magnetic power bank. It delivers up to 25 watts magnetic wireless charging, bringing iPhone 17 Pro Max from 0 to 50% in 38 minutes. The 10,000 mAh battery pack meets airline safety standards and can charge iPhone 17 Pro Max about 2 times total. The MagSafe compatible connection holds firmly, and the LED display gives a real-time status of charging. You can also use the built-in USB-C cable, which supports 30-watt PD input and output to allow you to fast charge your devices, but also charge the power bank as well. You can also charge 2 devices at once using MagSafe and the built-in USB-C cable, and you can even use the cable as a carrying strap. Or you can even charge 3 devices at once, attaching an additional USB-C cable. Ugreen also has a 2-in-1 magnetic wireless charger that can charge at 25 watts and charge iPhone, AirPods, and Apple Watch at once. To check out the latest chargers from Ugreen, be sure to check out the link in the description below. Now, both the iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max this year have similar cameras, and there's no compromises between either of them. We have 3 48 megapixel cameras this year. So last year they added the 48 megapixel ultra wide, so we had wide, ultra wide, but now we have a 48 megapixel telephoto zoom that's good for 4 or 8x crop zoom. So this is great that they're both the same, and there's no compromises between either of them. You can expect the exact same processing, picture quality, and everything else. Also, the new forward-facing camera is on both of them. Again, no compromises, so if we go into it, go in here, we'll spin it around to photo. We'll set this up later on this device, but you can see if we spin it around, and this time we'll go out of this, we'll go into photo, and you'll see we have the option on both to go into 16:9, go vertically, or whatever you'd like. So we have that option with that open gate sensor with 4K 60, 4K 120, and great options. So if we go into video, again, turn it around here, we can dual record on both, and we have to turn the option on this phone. So within your options, if you've got a new phone, make sure dual capture is on, go back into the camera, and you'll see this new icon. Now you can capture both the front and rear camera at the same time, allowing you maybe to comment on something, maybe move this around, comment on something in the background while you're recording a video. So again, no compromises on the new 18 megapixel forward-facing camera or center stage camera, and no compromises on the rear cameras as well. Your only compromise here are the 5 different things we've gone over. Basically price, storage, display size, size and weight, as well as overall battery life. Nothing else is different in this update. So the iPhone 17 Pro and 17 Pro Max have the same cameras, the same speed, very fast with the A19 Pro. You can see they both have 12 gigs of RAM, or 11.4 as Geekbench lists them, with the same A19 Pro processor. So again, no compromises. They both get rid of heat really well. They have the same display quality, anti-reflective coating. You can see if we turn off the display here on one, or if you're using the always on display on the other. They're great displays this year, and a big increase in overall brightness at 3000 nits. So definitely great options between both. It really just comes down to really battery life, display size, and which size you want to use. The 17 Pro Max is definitely a very large and heavy device, but both feel great in the hand. And of course, many people put a case on them as well, but I really like the feel of them without anything on them. So that's it for the iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max. Let me know which one you're choosing this year and maybe why you chose it. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And also maybe if you're considering the iPhone Air or base iPhone 17. I think the lineup this year is great, has something for everyone. Again, let me know which one you're choosing. Of course, I'll link this wallpaper in the description below. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.